What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another Tottenham update. We're going to be focusing on Tottenham injuries mainly today, and starting off with Son Heung-min. As Ali Gold said on Sunday, Sonny posted an image of himself overlooking the training pitches with the simplest of messages saying "back soon" alongside a lily white heart emoji. If we bring up the phone, I'll show you the post that he did tweet or he did put out, and that was it. Just him patiently waiting for the squad to get back, and he's ready to get back into action.
That's the look of a man who means business.
100%.
That's the look of a man's like he's getting ready to be back in action. He saw what happened in Brighton. He's like, enough of this.
Yeah,
I'm back. I don't care what's happening. And look, he's got a good few weeks rest. Obviously, I think these 2 weeks has pretty much been just rest, because it sounded like he was fairly close to making the Brighton game, but obviously missed out because we didn't want to risk him. So hopefully this rest is really going to have done him well. We're obviously going to need him. We've seen on the left-hand side, Werner has been missing lots of chances, and if we had Son in those positions, who knows what would have, how many more goals we would have scored than over the last couple of games. So really excited to have him back in the team, and he's been missed for sure. And that leadership as well, we're definitely going to need that.
Yeah, and I'm quite excited about the prospect of a fully rested Sonny coming back into this team now, so he can give us that extra push that we need in that forward line for sure. Next up, talking about Richarlison, Ali Gold says that the striker was shown back on the grass working in the past few weeks, and it was hoped that the Richarlison could be back in training during the next week. The match against West Ham might come a bit too soon for him, as Spurs will take it very cautiously with him with the previous setback that he has had, but we're sure that the game that game could be in the back of the mind, so maybe he could be in line to play a bit in the RZ game.
Yeah, obviously with Richarlison, we know that he must be chomping at the bit to get back involved, because he's had such a stop-start career at Tottenham with injuries in and out the team, and obviously we saw when he was fully fit last season what he can do, he can be a regular goal scorer and what he can provide. Obviously this season, had a couple of games early on and then has picked up another injury. So it must be very frustrating for him. So I'm sure as soon as he's back he wants to get back involved. I think Tottenham have taken the right approach. Take it slow. Don't rush him back in any way, because we just don't want him to break down again. That's the main thing. And because having him as an option is going to be so important for us this season. Really underestimated how important that is, especially with Slanky here now. Having those two battling out kind of in competition for that starting spot is going to be really vital for us getting lots of goals. So we need to make sure he stays fit. We need to make sure it's stable and he doesn't break down again. So I think it's right. I don't want to rush him back.
Yeah. In terms of Wilson Odobert, could be better news on him, as Ali Gold says. Wilson could be involved in training as of this week. It's very much about how the player reacts to his early moments back on the grass, and also with the contact training, as that puts a strain on the affected area. If it all goes well, Odobert could be in contention for a spot on the bench, either against West Ham or against RZ Alkmaar next week. So that's a lot earlier than we first heard.
Yeah, probably I would say about 2 or 3 weeks earlier than we thought. So really encouraging with Odobert. Good that he's recovering quickly. Again, another player who's really great to have as an option at the moment, even though Brennan's doing really well at the moment out on the right. Obviously, Sonny's going to come back in on the left, but having him as an option off the bench and get more minutes in Europa League as well, as an option, that as a winger kind of profile we don't have in the squad right now available to us because of his injury. So it's very important that he gets back fit. And as we've seen when he's been on the pitch, he's a really bright player, and he's got an ability and a fearlessness that when he's on the ball, which I feel like a lot of our players don't have. So we're going to need him back. And we haven't seen the best of him because he's only been here for two games. So still need to see the best of him at the moment. So it's been frustrating that he hasn't been in the team.
Yeah, it's all just about like having options as well. It's just like you look at that Brighton game, and with the injuries that we had and the players that we had at our disposal, you had no one that can come on at 3-2 down that we can just go, you know what, let's just bang everyone up front. Like we had no one. We had a 17-year-old Mikey Moore. As much as we rate Mikey Moore, I think it's unfair to put him in those kind of conditions, which we did. But now with Richarlison returning, with Odobert returning, with the Sonny returning, with Brennan Johnson in form, we've got some options now.
Definitely. And as I said, like once we get those options back and all of a sudden you can rotate and change, first of all takes the pressure off the players who are starting, but also it makes the attacking line look a lot healthier than it was. So I'm really excited about these players returning.
On Brennan Johnson, Craig Bellamy said about him being taken off at half-time in the Wales game. The quote is from Bellamy, and he says it was a precaution. He took a kick. He did feel something from the impact, so we'll have to get him checked out. So hopefully sometimes, with impact, it could be very painful at the beginning and then it just heals very quickly. Or it could be checked out and there could be something more into it. We don't actually know at this moment in time. So hopefully it was just something that he felt on the impact and there's no lasting kind of injury there. But he's not playing in the second game for Wales because of a suspension. So hopefully he's already back at Hotspur Way.
Well, the fact he's suspended in a way could play in our favour just means that if they were thinking about rushing him back, they can't do that because he can't even play. So whatever happens, he's getting a week's rest. Obviously, as you said, he's been in flying form at the moment. So the more he gets on the pitch, the better for us because at the moment, it looks like he can't stop scoring. So we need to get him back on that pitch for Saturday if we can. But let's hope that this scan or whatever, the checks prove there's nothing there because if he's got a bit of an injury, I guess... The good thing is we've got players coming back now, so the timing is okay. But obviously, with him being in such good form, you don't want him to be out for any time at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And the last of the injury news is Lucas Bergvall. A Sweden official have put out today that Lucas Bergvall will miss the game against Estonia tonight. The midfielder has suffered a minor injury and has left the men's national team gathering in Estonia to focus on his rehabilitation back at Tottenham. So that's a bit of an unfortunate news.
Yeah, it's been quite a stop-start for Bergvall. You got to remember in pre-season, he picked up an injury, didn't he? And was ruled out for, I think, a game or two. But I think he came back for the first game of the season. But, he had an injury there. He then obviously had that start against Karabag, went off after a few minutes because of Dragoson's injury, suspension. And now he's picked up another injury, which, might rule him out for the next week or so. I don't know. Obviously, he's minor, but that still might rule him out for a week. So he could miss the next couple of games. So it's a bit frustrating at the moment for him, I'm assuming, because he's obviously come here wanting to make a big impact, wanting to, fight his way into the team and show what he can do. And circumstances have kind of gone against him earlier in his career, unfortunately. So let's hope this isn't too bad of an injury and he comes back quickly. But, it's been a bit of a frustrating start for him, I feel.
Yeah, it has. I think probably the most frustrating of the lot was the Karabag game because that was obviously a big chance for him. He has had a start since then in the Europa League against Ferencvaros. But, yeah, obviously he just wants to be fit. He wants to be out there. He wants to be playing. And this will just cause more frustration for him, really. Last but not least, let's talk about Amanda Staveley. It's obviously been heavily rumoured that she's been... her and her consortium are going to be... putting a minority stake into Tottenham Hotspur. There's been a lot of rumours about that. She's been spotted at Spurs. I think it was in the North London derby or one of the other games she was spotted at Spurs. And now, again, she's been spotted at Spurs over the NFL at the weekend. So make of it what you will. But I do feel like something's happening here because she does seem to be showing her face a lot at the moment.
Yeah, bring up the phone. You can see it here. This is the picture. Staveley at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this Sunday, clearly enjoying the game. Got a big smile on her face. Look, clearly there's no smoke without fire here. I don't think she's spending all this time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium because she loves the stadium. I think there's probably discussions going on here. And clearly we've heard Daniel Levy very explicitly say they're open to this kind of deal. He said that's what they're looking for. We saw what Staveley did with Newcastle. We've heard rumours that they want to do something similar to Tottenham, a cash injection for a minority stake. So looks like this one really has legs at the moment, and I think probably we'll probably hear something. I don't know when we'll hear something, but it sounds like we're probably going to hear something that's fairly soon because she keeps coming, and I don't think it's, as I say, it's just because she likes being at the stadium.
And you know what? With all the rumours, Spurs be very aware of what's going on social media and all the rumours that are coming out and stuff. Like, if they really wanted to keep it quiet, they could keep it a lot more quiet than they're doing at the moment.
Well, I mean, if they're going to put her in a box and she's going to be publicly seen, then people are going to be able to take pictures and stuff. I guess if they wanted to keep it quiet, they can tell her, don't come to this game, let's meet on a weekday when there's no fans around. But they're happy for her to come, so sounds like they're happy for everyone to know that, make it quite public that, she's interested, I guess.
Yeah. So look, we'll have to wait and see what happens, what a minority stake in Tottenham looks like, how it affects the team. We don't know. We don't know what it's going to affect at all, but it'll be interesting to know what you guys think in the comment section below. I mean, in terms of my knowledge around these kind of things is pretty much close to zero. I don't know about you, but
I would argue it would mean in the short term we probably have more money available for transfers. Whether it means we're going to be spending 100 million on a player, I doubt that. But does it mean that instead of only having one 60 million pound signing, we could have two maybe or three? That's a possibility. So I do think in the short term, that I think that could benefit the playing to the squad, but as well they could just be getting a minority stake because they want a piece of that pie of the concerts and the hotels, all that kind of stuff as well. I'm sure that's part of it, but I also think you're not getting a big cash injection unless there's part of that is also going to the playing team as well, I would assume.
Yeah, you would like to think so anyway. But again, we'll have to wait and see what happens. If any news comes out soon, obviously we'll bring it to you right here on We Are Tottenham TV. But yeah, that is it. That is your Tottenham update today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories brought to you today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.